When she charts, this is the first thing she says to you. Life often presents us with challenges that test our hearts and minds, and few experiences are as painful as betrayal. When someone we trust breaks that bond, it can feel as though the world has shifted beneath our feet. But in these moments of hurt and confusion lies an opportunity for profound growth. Today, we embark on a journey to understand how to navigate the pain of betrayal with strength, clarity, and wisdom. Together, we will learn how to rise above the storm and emerge stronger, more resilient, and more at peace with ourselves. Stay with me until the end. Number 1. Acknowledge the reality of human nature. In life, we are often confronted with situations where others fall short of our expectations, and betrayal is one of the most painful experiences one can endure. When someone we care about, especially a partner, cheats, it can stir up feelings of anger, betrayal, and confusion. However, one of the first steps to handling such a painful revelation, from a Stoic perspective, is to acknowledge the reality of human nature. Humans are complex, and it's important to understand that they are not perfect. Everyone has flaws, and no one is beyond making mistakes, no matter how painful or destructive those mistakes may be. Betrayal, though deeply hurtful, is an unfortunate part of the human experience. People sometimes make choices that contradict their own principles or the values of those around them, and the capacity for this is not exclusive to any one gender. It's part of the human condition that we all navigate. From a Stoic standpoint, accepting that people are capable of making these kinds of choices doesn't excuse their actions, nor does it mean that you should tolerate harmful behavior. Instead, it helps you view the situation with a more measured approach. By accepting that human beings are fallible, you free yourself from the expectation that they will always act in accordance with your desires or standards. This acceptance allows you to approach the situation with clarity and a greater sense of emotional control. In moments of betrayal, emotions can cloud judgment. Anger, sadness, and confusion are normal responses, but they can lead to rash decisions or impulsive reactions that may cause further harm. Acknowledging that betrayal is part of human nature helps distance you from the immediate emotional reaction and instead places your focus on how you can move forward with wisdom. By understanding that these actions do not define you, nor do they entirely define the person who has betrayed you, you take the first step toward emotional resilience. This acknowledgement is not about excusing the behavior, but about recognizing it as a part of the reality you now face. Understanding human imperfection allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than in reactionary hurt. Number 2. Expect emotional reactions, but control your own. When faced with the painful reality of betrayal, such as when a partner cheats, it is entirely natural to experience intense emotional reactions. Feelings of anger, sadness, frustration, and even disbelief may flood your mind, and these reactions are part of being human. However, the key to navigating such moments, especially from a Stoic perspective, lies in recognizing that while emotional responses are inevitable, the true power lies in how we choose to control them. Emotions are a natural part of life, and Stoicism does not advocate for suppressing or ignoring these feelings. Instead, it teaches us to be aware of them and manage our reactions in a way that preserves our dignity and integrity. In the case of betrayal, the initial emotional surge might be overwhelming. Anger at the betrayal, hurt at the breach of trust, and sadness at the realization of lost expectations are all valid feelings to experience. But it is important to remember that emotions, while they are real, are transient. They come and go, and the key is not to let them dominate your actions. A Stoic approach calls for emotional awareness. Acknowledge the emotions you are feeling, but do not allow them to control your response. For instance, if anger arises in response to being cheated on, the instinct may be to lash out, whether through harsh words, destructive actions, or seeking revenge. However, the Stoic mindset encourages you to pause and reflect. Ask yourself whether acting on these emotions will lead to a better outcome, or if it will only deepen the pain and turmoil. You have the ability to choose your response. You are not enslaved to your emotions. It is in this moment of emotional turbulence that you are offered a choice. Will you act impulsively and potentially make the situation worse, or will you take a step back, process your emotions calmly, and respond with wisdom and composure? By choosing to control your emotions, you create space for clarity. You allow yourself to process the situation from a place of emotional strength rather than one of reactionary hurt. This self-control empowers you to make decisions that align with your values and long-term well-being, rather than being driven solely by the immediate emotional storm. Number 3, the power of self-reflection. In the face of betrayal, such as when a partner cheats, it is easy to become overwhelmed with emotion and frustration. However, from a Stoic perspective, it is essential to embrace the power of self-reflection in such moments. Instead of immediately reacting or seeking to blame the other person, a Stoic individual steps back and looks inward. Self-reflection allows for a deeper understanding of the situation, the role you may have played, and the opportunities for growth and learning that can arise from the experience. Self-reflection is not about self-blame or being overly critical of oneself. Rather, it is a method of gaining clarity and wisdom. In the case of betrayal, you may feel the instinct to accuse, judge, or retaliate, but by taking a step back, you can begin to ask yourself deeper, more meaningful questions. What led to this situation? How did my actions, words, or choices contribute to the dynamic in this relationship? Is there something I can learn from this experience to become a better partner, friend, or person? There is a story of a man named Jonathan who had been in a committed relationship for several years. One day, he discovered that his partner had cheated on him. Initially, he was filled with anger and hurt, but instead of reacting impulsively, he decided to take time for self-reflection. He asked himself hard questions. Had he been emotionally distant? Had he neglected to communicate openly? Through this reflection, he realized that his own behavior had in some ways contributed to a disconnect in their relationship. This realization did not excuse the betrayal, but it allowed Jonathan to better understand the broader context of the relationship and the areas where he could improve. Self-reflection also offers the opportunity to assess your values, boundaries, and expectations. It is an opportunity to grow and refine your understanding of what you truly seek in a partnership and how you can be more intentional in your future relationships. It allows you to find peace and acceptance in knowing that while you may not have control over the actions of others, you do have control over how you learn from each experience and evolve as a person. By practicing self-reflection, you step into a position of personal empowerment. Instead of remaining stuck in reactive emotions, you begin to embrace a deeper, more thoughtful approach to life's challenges. Number 4, recognize the importance of communication. When faced with betrayal, especially in the form of infidelity, emotions can cloud judgment, and the impulse to react with anger or frustration can overwhelm any sense of rationality. However, from a Stoic perspective, it is crucial to recognize the importance of communication during such trying times. The first words spoken after discovering the betrayal can set the tone for how the situation unfolds, and how you choose to engage in that moment will significantly impact the outcome. Communication is not just about talking, it's about listening and understanding. In the context of betrayal, many people are quick to respond with accusations or judgment, driven by the hurt and confusion they feel. While it's important to express your emotions and concerns, a Stoic individual prioritizes clear and measured communication. Rather than jumping to conclusions or lashing out in the heat of the moment, the Stoic approach encourages patience. It asks for a pause, to gather your thoughts and understand the situation fully before responding. There is an example of Emily who discovered her partner's infidelity. Instead of immediately confronting him with accusations or insults, she chose to approach the situation calmly, seeking to understand his actions and reasoning. Her initial question was simple yet powerful. Can you explain what led to this? By opening the lines of communication with this question, Emily gave her partner the space to express his side and understand the deeper issues that had contributed to the betrayal. Although painful, the conversation led to a clearer understanding of the situation and opened the door to honest dialogue about their relationship moving forward. A Stoic perspective on communication also encourages focusing on clarity and honesty. It's easy to resort to emotional outbursts or to avoid difficult conversations altogether, but this only prolongs the hurt and confusion. Instead, direct communication is key to unraveling the complexities of the situation. When betrayal occurs, the need for transparency, honesty, and calm expression is greater than ever. Communication is a two-way process. While it's important to express your feelings, it's equally essential to listen with an open mind and heart. This doesn't mean accepting excuses or tolerating harmful behavior, but it does mean being willing to hear the other person's perspective. In doing so, you create space for resolution, whether that means healing the relationship or moving forward separately, and fostering understanding, growth, and clarity in the process. Number 5. Accept that you cannot control others. Stoicism is the understanding that we cannot control the actions of others. This is especially important when faced with betrayal, such as when a partner cheats. While it is natural to want to change or control the behavior of those around us, the Stoic mindset teaches us to focus solely on what is within our power, our own thoughts, reactions, and decisions. When a partner betrays you, the immediate reaction is often one of anger, frustration, and a desire to fix the situation or demand explanations. However, no matter how strongly you may feel, you cannot control another person's behavior, choices, or actions. Understanding this truth is liberating. It takes the burden of trying to change someone else's actions off your shoulders, allowing you to redirect your energy toward what truly matters, your own response and growth. There is an example of Thomas, who discovered that his wife had been unfaithful. Initially, he struggled with the desire to force her to explain herself, to change her actions, and to make her understand the pain she had caused. He wanted to control the situation, to somehow make her regret her decisions, and to bring everything back to the way it had been before. But over time, Thomas came to realize that he could not control her choices, her feelings, or her action. He could only control how he responded to the situation. This realization gave Thomas the freedom to choose how to move forward. Instead of attempting to manipulate the situation or hold on to anger, he chose to focus on his own emotional response. He accepted that he could not undo what had been done, but he could choose to move forward with dignity, whether that meant working on the relationship or choosing to part ways. A Stoic approach to betrayal, then, is not about trying to force someone else to behave the way we want them to, but about focusing on ourselves, our actions, our responses, and our decisions. This doesn't mean you resign yourself to passivity or accept harmful behavior. It simply means acknowledging that the actions of others are beyond your control, and instead of wasting energy on trying to change them, you direct your focus to what you can control, your own healing and growth. Number 6. Focus on what you can control, your response. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the idea that we should focus on what is within our control and let go of what lies beyond our power. This is particularly important when faced with situations that cause emotional turmoil, such as betrayal. When a partner cheats, it's easy to become consumed by feelings of anger, hurt, and frustration, all of which may prompt reactive behaviors that could worsen the situation. Stoicism teaches us, however, that while we cannot control others' actions, we have full control over how we respond to them. The first step in applying this principle is acknowledging that, while you may not be able to change the past or the actions of the person who betrayed you, you can control how you respond in the present. Your emotions, thoughts, and actions are entirely within your realm of influence. Instead of allowing the actions of another person to dictate how you feel or behave, you can choose how to process and respond to the situation. This shift in mindset is empowering because it places the power back in your hands, rather than giving it away to the actions of others. There is an example of a man named David, who was devastated when he discovered that his longtime partner had been unfaithful. At first, his emotions ran high, and he wanted to confront her angrily, blaming her for the pain he was experiencing. But instead of giving in to the impulse for a dramatic confrontation, he paused and asked himself, "What can I control right now?" He realized that he couldn't undo the betrayal or control her actions, but he could control how he approached the situation. David decided to take time to process his emotions calmly, seek support from trusted friends, and focus on his own healing, rather than getting entangled in an emotion. Focusing on your response also means choosing to act from a place of clarity, rather than reacting impulsively. In moments of intense emotion, it's easy to make rash decisions, say things you might later regret, or do things that only escalate the conflict. By focusing on what you can control your response, you have the opportunity to act with purpose and integrity. This principle of focusing on your response encourages resilience and emotional mastery. It empowers you to rise above the pain and take measured steps toward healing, regardless of the actions of others. By focusing on your own behavior and mindset, you reclaim your peace and build the foundation for a stronger, more thoughtful approach to life's challenges. Number 7, the importance of moving forward. In any difficult situation, especially one as painful as betrayal, it can be easy to become fixated on the past, replaying events over and over in your mind. When a partner cheats, the emotional wounds may feel insurmountable, and it might seem impossible to move on. However, the Stoic philosophy teaches the crucial lesson that dwelling on what has happened cannot change the outcome. What matters most is how you choose to move forward and grow from the experience. The past, with all its hurts and mistakes, is beyond our control. As much as we may wish to go back and alter the events that led to our current pain, the reality is that this is impossible. Stoicism teaches that clinging to the past, whether in regret, anger, or longing, keeps us tied to something that no longer exists. The present moment is where true power lies, and it is in the present that we must focus our energies. The ability to accept the past, learn from it, and then release it is a hallmark of Stoic resilience. There is a story of Maria, whose partner had cheated on her. Initially, she was consumed by resentment and spent days thinking about the betrayal, unable to see a way forward. But as time passed, Maria realized that continuing to ruminate over the situation would not bring her peace. She made the decision to focus on the future, on her own healing and growth. While acknowledging the hurt she had experienced, Maria recognized that her emotional well-being was in her hands, and dwelling on the betrayal was only prolonging her suffering. Choosing to move forward does not mean forgetting the past or pretending it didn't hurt. It means understanding that holding on to the past will only keep you trapped in a cycle of pain and resentment. Moving forward is about making a conscious decision to let go of what no longer serves you and to focus on what is within your control, your thoughts, actions, and future. Moving forward also involves embracing new opportunities for growth and learning. Betrayal can be a painful teacher, but it can also reveal areas in your life that need attention or improvement. It can teach you about your values, your boundaries, and your capacity for resilience. The Stoic mindset encourages you to see life's challenges, even the painful ones, as opportunities to cultivate wisdom, strength, and emotional fortitude. By choosing to move forward with intention and purpose, you take control of your life again. You stop letting past events define you and instead empower yourself to shape your own path toward peace and fulfillment. While betrayal can shake us to our core, embracing the Stoic principles of acknowledging reality, controlling our reactions, reflecting on our own actions, communicating thoughtfully, and focusing on what we can control allows us to rise above the pain. It is in these moments that our true character is forged. Remember, you are not defined by the actions of others, but by how you choose to respond. Take control of your emotional journey, move forward with strength, and grow from adversity. Thank you for your time and attention. May peace and clarity guide you forward, and good luck on your journey.